Writing Stories the Easy Way, presented to you by Mrs. Leposki's fourth graders, the Doodlestars.
Welcome, students, to our Farrell Elementary School Young Author Kickoff. Here's writing a story the hard way. You sit down at your desk, you get out a blank sheet of paper, you get out a pencil, you go sharpen it. You come back to your desk and sit down. You write, once upon a time. And you stop. You try to think of something to write next. You think, you lean back in your seat, staring out the window. Your teacher tells you to stop daydreaming and start writing.
You go sharpen your pencil again. You stare at the paper. You tap your pencil on the desk. The kid next to you gives you a mean look. You stop tapping your pencil on the desk. You try to think.
All you can think of is stuff on TV or the movies or in the library book you have to return. Your own ideas seem really lame. You go sharpen your pencil again. You think and think and think. Duh. You wipe the sweat off your forehead, you squirm in your seat, you make doodles on your paper. Why is this so hard, you think? You go sharpen your pencil again, it's now only 2 inches long.
This is awful. You hate writing stories. I want to be in your butt here right now. Why can't writing stories be easy and fun?
Why?
Why?
So here is a news flash. Writing can be fun. Let's listen to the presentation to find out how. Here's our presentation about writing stories the easy way. Get a big piece of paper. Get a nice new sharp pencil. Not forget about everything you've ever seen on TV. Just give it a good old slam dunk. You don't need it.
Draw a big circle in the middle of your paper and put a small circle right in the center.
We will label this on our characters. Think about all the living things that are on the world. Think all the different animals, from teensy weensy little ants to huge whales. Made a whole list of them.
We did some brainstorming for our story already.
Here's our chart for you to see. These are our favorite characters and character names.
You just choose a few from your list to have in your story. Next, get a big piece of paper and draw another big circle in the middle of your paper and put a small circle in the center.
About all the places there are in the world. Different countries like Mexico or Japan.
Different areas like the desert or at the top of a mountain or at the bottom of the ocean. What about all the places you go?
Or how about a different planet and how it is different from ours?
Make a big list of all the cities you can think of. Here's the chart for you to see.
Now close your eyes and point with your pencil at the list. Now open them and circle the setting you landed on. Here are a few that we have written for you, because a good setting not only tells the place your story is happening, but it also tells the time. See if you can pick out our locations. In Anchorage, Alaska, there was this cute little log cabin beside a lake. Inside there was a bedroom for everyone and a fireplace with 5 cozy rocking chairs that sat around it. It was about 8 p.m. and everyone settled in their chairs to listen to their grandfather tell a bedtime story. In the deep dark woods of Alaska, there are rows and rows of several different types of trees. There are so many trees that it becomes difficult to tell which direction is which, except for the moss on the tall trees and the bright stars that shone in the cold winter night.
An Alaskan Winter Carnival is held at the lake in the center of our small town. There are ice sculptures and snow forts all around the shores. There are several ice fishing shelters spread on the ice with many people everywhere. In the nighttime, the lights turn the ice blue, green, and red. While eating dinner at the Alaskan Fish House, we heard some explorers telling about a cave they have found. I quickly recorded a map to the nearby cave on a napkin. My sister and I slipped out of the restaurant 5 minutes later and began our cave climb.
The Alaskan Trail map was marked clearly with blue diamond trails marks. Today I decided to follow a figure-8 loop marked with blue diamonds. I with a nearby lake crossed over a wooden bridge and through a pine forest. The stars were shining brightly in the reflection of the moon, made the evening snow sparkle.
Yep, you guessed it. It's time to grab another piece of paper and draw your circle.
Does your pencil need sharpening? Write activities in the center of the circle.
Now a story about a bunch of characters just hanging out somewhere would get boring pretty fast, wouldn't it?
So, let's give them something to do. Remember all those people doing different jobs?
Well, those jobs can be activities such as driving a truck or baking pies.
Write a whole bunch down.
And this one's fun. How many different ways can people play?
Games, sports, music.
Make a list.
Circle your favorite and put on your alien glasses and see if you can put a weird and fun and exciting twist to it.
Like instead of running a sled down a hill, it could be a dog sled running at night to prepare for the upcoming dog sled race. Here is our chart for you to see.
Pick your favorite one and circle it.
Ask your teacher very politely for another piece of paper.
Sharpen your pencil again. Draw your circles and write problem in the center.
Think about the characters you circled together on the setting you circled doing the activity.
Now, what are all the things that could go wrong here? Is there something about the setting or activity that might get your characters in trouble?
Or put them in danger.
Or make them unhappy.
List as many problems as you can. Pick the scariest one and circle it.
Here's our chart for you to see.
Now think about the problem you chose. Your characters are really in a pickle.
It's up to you to save them.
So you grab another sheet of paper, draw or circles. Label as the user and begin to think.
Think of all the different ways you might be able to get them out of trouble.
Is there something one of the characters can do to help?
Is there something you can use when you're saying?
What would you do if your name can be happy, sad, or have a surprise?
Don't worry, if your solutions sound impossible, it's your story, so anything's possible.
Here is our chart for you to see.
Mrs. Oposki taught us about organizing our thoughts into a sequence map using fleas.
First we create boxes and put the activity, problem, and solution in them that we want to happen in the story.
Next, we go back to each box and add 3 links and write a quick note about what we want to happen in the section. Start direction and keeps telling our readers new information so that they want to continue to read our story.
Here is the planning map, what the flea planning map looks like.
A lot of people think you start a book by writing a title. That is not true.
Your title comes at the very end.
You can have a normal title or you can have a catchy title. Tune in now to hear the story we wrote for you the easy way. Until then, be great writers. This is Young Author Live with the Doodlestars.
Here is the story we have written for you.
The Alaskan trail map was clearly marked with diamond trail markers. Today I decided to follow the figure 8 loop marked with blue diamonds. It circled a nearby lake, crossed over a wooden bridge, and through a pine forest. The stars were shining brightly, and the reflection of the moon made the evening snow sparkle. My lead sled dog was running well in the crisp winter Alaskan night. Everything seemed to settle in for a perfect evening of gliding through the sparkling, crispy snow. Well, suddenly, out of nowhere, a skunk appeared in the trail. We all know what happened next, especially with 6 dogs. We caught the skunk scent and began the chase. As we rounded the last pine tree, the dogs crossed the wooden bridge. I wasn't too nervous until Joe took a hard left straight out onto the... As the dogs raced after the skunk, I heard an eerie crack. The ice began to split behind me, and I just knew what was going to happen next. The ice began to open to freeze. Feeling helpless, I began to yell at Joe, a command to race with all his might. I closed my eyes and turned to the bank. Just then, the skunk turned to my team and released the worst-smelling, eye-burning green cloud of stink you have ever smelled. In one flash, Joe was heading for the shore. He was racing for the closest snowbank to roll in, without knowing we had just avoided one of the most, or almost, devastating swims of our life. After the dogs recovered from their skunk spray shower, I decided to call it a night and return to the cabin. In only 15 minutes, I had unharnessed the dogs, tucked them in for the night. As I sat in my rocking chair by the fire, I was relieved that we had escaped a close call once again.
Ta-da! Congratulations, you're an author. Use all the things you circled and have fun turning all your ideas into a terrific story. Isn't this a lot easier than the hard way?
Yeah!